Greetings, welcome Pisces. This is your November reading with me. Hey, thank you for joining me, guys, and welcome to this reading. Also, welcome to the channel if you are a new subscriber. It's lovely to have you here. Yes, we're moving into the end of the year, November. Blimey, where does time go? But also, we're moving into the end of the decade. Where does time go? And into the new decade. We're about to find out where time goes. So with that, the 2020s bring a numerological vibrational frequency change. Things are amping up. Everything is getting quicker. And if you look around yourself, I'm sure you notice it as well. You just have this feeling of a speed about everything. I don't know quite how to put it into words, but yes, things are speeding up. Everything is. Not really sure where it's headed and how fast it'll go. But while we're thinking about it, it's time to really put some energy towards 2020, to think about the goals, ambitions, dreams and desires that you would like to formulate. These couple of months before that energy actually arrives is really poignant time to vision or set into action your dreams and desires. Now, some of the things happening in November: Mercury goes direct, Neptune goes direct. There's a Friday the 13th, a full moon in Taurus, which could be very nice and grounding. It's a universal month of 5, and we have the 11-11 portal. But believe me, that's just the very scratching the surface of astrological events taking place. And I'm not an astrologer, so I can't go that much deeper than that per se without, fully understanding it. However, I have been tapping into energy messages coming in, and it is just like fast, just pulses of fast energy arriving. And when that arrives, it affects us all in various different ways, but quite often at the emotional and physical level. Now, some of the messages I got for you guys were, in particular, the turtle yoga pose, and I have that card here. So I'm not sure if that's going to be relevant for any of you, or if you find that disconcerting or appealing. Whatever it does to your emotions when you look at that pose, you should think in on that and extend it a little bit more. But this one came for you after quite a lot of work, and on the back of it, it says, "I go to a place deep within and find all that I need." So there's some really good sense and logic in that peaceful statement, and it might be something that pays dividends for you guys in the month of November, or to uplift some of that energy. The other thing is it stretches the groin muscles, it increases suppleness in the tendons as well as knees and hips, and it releases tension in the upper back. So for any of you having any problems in those areas of the body, that could be really beneficial for you. So we're going to use these 3 different decks of cards, and we will start with the process of shuffling for you. I have picked them upside down. It's always hard to tell, isn't it, when actually there is a way to tell whether these are reversed or not, and it's this little star down here. This wee star is the bottom of the cards. So for anyone working with the tarot, you could make sense of it without having to look at the back, and remember that that means the deck is upright. But anyhow, Pisces, let's get into this for you for November, for 2019. What's in store for Pisces? What is it that you would like them to focus on, or to understand, to work with? Oh, well, it seems like there could be quite a lot to work with. That was a lot of cards that came out. I'm actually going to put them back in for now, because I think that's too many to be working with all at once. So we'll start again. What is in here for Pisces? What's the most important messages you'd like to get them to understand or be aware of? Pisces for November. Pisces for November 2019. So as we've talked about already, there's a lot of energy in the air, a lot of fast moving energy, a lot of changes. Wow, that's a nice start, guys. That's the wish card, the 9 of Cups. It's about feeling happy or feeling sated, enjoying something and its rewards. And sometimes it feels as though it's come from possibly hard work or due diligence or an attitude or a moral ethic or something, because the 9 of course is about the endings of things. So, well, getting towards the end of a pathway or a journey that you may have been on. So that's why I sometimes think with this 9 that it could have been quite a long evolving happiness that has come, something that has come to fruition. Now this one was the first card out. It's landed on its side, so I will put it the right way up. Oh, wow, the 2 of Cups. How nice. Emotions. So we're talking about emotions when the cups come out, and it's your sign, it's your watery sign as well. So this could be yourself and your emotions feeling happy or content or favorable, and that's what I said just before. So I'm doubling up on that message already. Then we come to the doubling up term and we've got the 2 of Cups. This card is really a very favorite working card because it's all about deep bonded love and a deep soul connection, but even deeper. Sometimes this is igniting some form of twin energy or this feeling of euphoric union, which is kind of what a twin energy does. So there's trust, there's nurturing, there's support, there's love, there's honor, there's faithfulness. There's all of the beautiful words and vibrations that come out when this card turns up. And these two together, you can't get too much nicer cards in the whole deck. And this is to start your reading off. So I think the vibration feels really bouncy and positive. We'll see what else comes out. But this is definitely about relationships for you. It doesn't have to be your intimate personal relationship. This can be about all forms of relationships with your community, with your extended family, with friends, with work colleagues. The 2 of Cups can also represent a bond that is formed between a partnership or an alliance, and sometimes in a business setting. So both of these could also be representing a business setting in terms of someone starting up something new and forming an alliance or an allegiance with a partner or partnership with people that will go well. It will bode well. So really, I'm sure a lot of other signs would be really envious of getting these 2 beautiful cards to start the reading. So if you're already in a long-term intimate relationship, this could just be saying that it is balancing out, that it is in a happy place. If it's been in a place of hard work or there have been some issues going on, then it might be rectifying itself. It might be coming back into harmony, and that might be a wish that you have had, that you could get your union relationship back into this place of pleasure and trust and value. So there's this, for some of you it's about the fact that you're in a nice position already and things are trundling along. For others of you, it's about the fact that you are working toward getting an intimate relationship or a business partnership back into a place of trust or positivity or where you wished it would be. For others, this is a possibility of a new love coming in, and you have wished for the new love to come in. So it's about your wishes coming true. Whichever perspective of the paradigm you're sitting on, there's a possibility out there for it to eventuate and to be really boding well. Turning it up the other way, most of the cards appear to be up this way. So that was really nice. What else can we give Pisces information for in November? I think we'll take these. They're upside down. And okay, so we're still in the emotional perspective because we've got another cup card out. I'm just checking that you can see that. And it's upside down, and it's the choices card. So it's about making choices. Some of you may have felt there was some deception going on around relationships, and you have possibly made a choice about staying or going, and you are hoping that it's the wish come true. It's feeling as though for those of you involved, it might very well be the case. This person could have been involved in it, which is a fire sign person. So the fire sign person may have been part of this overall package of emotions that have been running through relationships one way or another. And there's a possibility that they're the ones that were upside down and not yourself. So you may have been dealing with them changing a perspective or dynamic or a viewpoint or a destination or an outcome, and you've been working on it. They may have been looking at options that may have not been agreeable to you, and these options could be to do with a change of lifestyle one way or another, as if they might have been saying, look, we could move somewhere, or we could go to a different country, or we could immigrate, or we could have more children, or we could retire, or look, I might have found a new person I'm interested in. It could have been anything along those lines, and they might have realized their folly over a period of time. But it feels as though something about choices around issues that may have affected your heart may be at the bottom of something clearing up that brings about this harmony again. And it could have to do with a fire sign person or a fire rising sign. It could also have to do with a younger person, because the knights are younger. So it could be, like a sibling or a child of your own, or a community member, or even a younger person that you work with. There's also a possibility that this is associated with your passions and hobbies and dreams and desires, and that you yourself or your partner or someone within your family was trying to make a difficult choice or had lots of options and trying to select something. But it feels to me, because these came out first, that there's this feeling of relief, or there's this feeling of return to some sort of normality or back on the road again. So let's have a look at a few more for you. I'll put those up there. Very much about relationships anyhow, and people. There's no doubt about that. So for Pisces, are there any other messages here from these cards for them? Pisces for November. And the Temperance card, so again, it's come out like that. You've had a couple that have come out sort of ambivalent, as if to say we're halfway through something, or we're going through a journey. We're not quite up and we're not quite down. But the Temperance card is a major arcana, and it talks about balance very, very often. And it feels as though balance is either coming back into this situation, or has been brought into it, or you're still trying to achieve balance one way or another. Balance can be in the mind, it can be in the body, or spiritually. So there's a degree of this card about every perspective. We see this enlightenment around her. It's actually a her and a him. It's an androgynous angel. But we see the light around the head, as if to say there is some awakening or epiphany coming. So some sort of awareness or value that is re-understood or regained or attained. So you could say like an awareness of, perhaps an awareness of this whole situation. Maybe something has been made clearer to you, or you have understood it, or you have passionately brought this balance back in, or the balance is returning. And I notice again we've got more cups here. So it is definitely something that's affected your heart. And it doesn't have to involve your intimate partner. It could involve a very close soulmate partner, which could be a family member or a very dear friend as well. They're not giving a lot more out from this deck at the moment. They seem to really want to focus on this. So that's something for you guys to ponder. For each of you it will be different, I guess, where you're headed or what's going on. But I did start with the reading saying these are very fast times, and dynamics change very, very quickly. And one day you could wake up and be feeling and thinking this about a relationship or a person in your life, and events happen and things are triggered, and the next week you're feeling totally different. And this is how we seem to be moving through life very, very quickly, with so many events occurring almost spontaneously and spurring us, upspurring us and sending us asunder and making us ponder or think about our values or why we were doing something or going somewhere with a certain person. And that's part of the whole package at the moment. It's part of deciding, do I stay, do I go, do I work through this, or do we move on? But for a lot of people, if you can work through it and understand that even if you move on, it's probably going to be not dissimilar with the next person, and so on and so on. These two were the ones to focus on. They jumped out first. They have the most impact in the reading. These are kind of the background scenario, I think, that's going on. And it may not even be that this is integrated. This might be a separate matter, from a different angle or involving different perspectives. Okay. This is for Pisces. These are the Doreen Virtue Daily Guidance deck. They're actually a really nice deck to work with. They would be one of the first I ever got. And they're a good one for starting off if any of you are wanting to progress your own spiritual journey. You could be considered you're on steady progress. This is a very overall benevolent, positive card. It's nothing specific. It's just saying your progress in life is moving forward at a steady pace. Now, this progress could be in anything. It could be tied into these relationships that you've been maybe having a few ups and downs with, or choices or options that you've been pondering upon. Even if it was career options, even if it was things you were passionate about, the decisions you're making and the progress and the way you are headed is all steady progress. Just keep moving, I think, is the ultimate point of that card. When we procrastinate or fence sit, very little gets done, and we often miss out on perfect timing. So perfect timing is an avenue to say that things are coming together with cosmic clarity and movement and activation at the right time. This is a good time to, look into something that you might be wanting to further or start or propagate or expand, or a good time to do learning, uplift something new. It says now is the perfect moment for you to act on your inspirations. The doors are open while you walk through them with us by your side. Don't delay or procrastinate, as all of the ingredients are ripe for your success. Everything and everyone is on your side, supporting your positive outcome. So again, they're very non-specific cards about a multitude of different arenas in life that we can be walking through, different doors we can be opening, different activities. We could be considering different emotions and feelings and stages of life. So it's become quite general without heading into specific at this point in time. This is for Pisces for November. The reason why it could have generalized itself out, because it's talking about thinking about the future and planning for 2020. And so it's giving you this great expanse of openness, of availability to make your choices, which is what I, was talking about at the beginning. Play, make sure that you enjoy life and take some time out, especially if there's been anything stressful, or if you have been overworking or been over encumbered by emotions or any traumas going on in the background. It is time to not just be working or feeling into the heavy stuff in life. I often think sometimes we don't play enough anymore. We seem to have a lot of worry around the planet and a lot of anxiety that can follow us, and that takes away that wonderful feeling of lightness of being and enjoyment and pleasure and laughter, just like a child would do, and like this little cherub is dancing across the lily pads on a pond, and she's getting a great deal of laughter and happiness and play out of that. And the other card that shot out on the other side, which I was holding in my other hand, was almost the very same message again. So it's time to stop and reward yourself. They're both basically the same messages. So they've really lightened up this part of the reading for you. I also note these two little girls, and I note the pink that's coming through, and that's very interesting because sitting above these cards is this beautiful pink opalite here, and some of these other pink ones that were singing to me before. So upon thinking about the pink energy, which is very healing, it's very soothing, it's very calming as well, it could be used to help calm any out of balance emotions, and especially for younger people. So if there's anyone younger in your life, whether it be a young lad or a young girl, whether it's a child or a teen or an early 20s or something, these people could benefit perhaps by having any anxiety or tensions or stress or overwork or over fear about our planet or our lives or where we're all headed, by either playing or rewarding themselves as well, and bringing in this colour of pink, which is this harmony and balance and peacefulness. Some of you may have a little girl who's on your mind. She may require some extra time in your life. It may be your little girl, and as I say, she may not be little anymore. She may be a little bit older, and you hark back to the times when life was like this and we seemed to have more time to play and enjoy. This person may need you to listen to them, may need you to help them make some decisions about options or choices that they're stuck on, or that they feel they may have gone wrong in making as well. And for some of you, this could be a little lost one that you are thinking about at this time of the year. And she's come out before. She came out last month. I'm not sure what reading it was in, but she really jumps up in the cards, and she's still around. She's like someone's little passed over girl, and she's growing anyhow, and she's actually is happy in terms of that she's where she is. And she could have had a name that began with an S, like not Sally, but maybe something along those lines. So anyhow, that might be a very personal message for some of you, but the pink is very rewarding, it's very calming, it's very soothing. It can help people who are stressed, or the little ones who suffer from things like ADHD or Asperger's, or any of the spectrum disorders. You know, the pinks and the crystals can be very helpful for them as well. So I've gone a little bit AWOL with these very generalized cards that popped out. I turned it into a very specific message. So I'm unsure how that will unfold for you all, but some of you, it will have a greater meaning in it. And I'm still picking up the pink and putting it in. And I've got a pink heart somewhere that I wanted to put in. And there's even this little bit of pink. So with that in mind, because I started with the yoga card, I will probably finish, I think, with the yoga card for you guys. But I'm just going to see here if there's one message in here for Pisces. I know I said I would use the 3 decks that were in front of us, but sometimes one's creative license takes over and you change things. You change things out in the middle of the story because there's nothing set in life. And that's another message. Everything is free will. There is always change that you can make. You never have to stick to one format or foundation in life. You have the availability to stop and change direction at any point in a journey. And sometimes I think we get too scared to do that because we think, well, I'm meant to be going one way only. There's the 3rd chakra archangel, CHAMUEL, and CHAMUEL is the angel of love quite often. And I think even though this is the solar plexus here, it is also the pink ray that he brings in. This can be about strengthening the stomach area, and that's why the turtle might have been really beneficial. the pose in the beginning, and there was just one gloomy card, the financial constraints. I think this is very temporary, the financial constraints, and it could be just due to something, you're waiting on something coming in, or you're waiting on an application or an answer, and I think it might involve other people. It could be that you have overspent on something, like a purchase of some sort, and that it might slow you down for a little while. But I don't feel this is a major, the financial constraints. So, and we didn't talk about money through any of this. Money didn't really show up. We could see it was much more emotional. So with that in mind, let's finish your reading, Pisces. It's been an interesting one. It's been quite up and down, you know, like really, really high start to it with that high energy and dreams and love and honor, and then we got to see a little bit deeper into it, and then we got, you know, we got broadened out and sort of brought back to the wide expanse of possibilities, and then focusing in again. So your month for November could be very much about ups and downs, opportunities and then ebbing away, money and then down again. I think that will be an overall message for you guys as well. That's probably too many to work from. Let's just take a couple from here. These two have come out a reasonable amount, actually, interestingly enough. They're both beautiful. Oh, wow. This and that are true. And I just said to you, your reading was a little bit like up and down and in and out, and the dolphin is in and out of the water. And it's saying this and that are true, meaning every possibility. So if you're thinking by limiting yourself about one option, there is more than the one option. There is more than the one choice. There is more than one direction. It doesn't necessarily matter because there's going to be an outcome either way. So, and take a leap of faith, you know, have some faith in the cosmic energy that surrounds you and in your destination and your journey and your pathway forward, and enjoy this life that as we move through it and experience all manner of different experiences, all types of emotions that come through life and grab us and make us face them, whether they're happy and blissful and exciting and love and euphoria, or whether they're tempestuous and frightening and a little bit gloomy. You wouldn't know what one was without experiencing some of the other. And we learn and grow from both sides of the coin. This and that are true. So there we are, Pisces. I hope you have really enjoyed your reading. It has been a delightful one to do with the this and that and the ups and downs and the ins and outs. So thank you for joining me for November. Check your moon and rising signs as well. I think you'll find there'll be some really interesting messages. It's been a good month's readings so far with lots of poignant messages. So thank you again, and sub the channel, push the notification button for all of the notifications, and have a happy, bliss-filled November ahead, and take that leap of faith, guys. Much love. Namaste.